Hello, everybody. You're welcome to another wonderful episode of Daily Living. This is Euphemia Rajikwe here, and I'm happy to be talking with us once again on today's Daily Living. So, today's topic I have called it Juicy Talk. Juicy Talk, yeah. Why did I call it a juicy talk? Not really. Well, the topic is interesting, it's juicy, but because we are going to be juicing and having a gist at the same time. Yes, and what I'm going to talk about today, God, is very important. Now, I kind of I was on my own, when someone sent me a post. I think everyone must have seen that post. It's actually it's on Instagram from this group called Kids Corner Niger or something like that. So yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but then I had a prompting in my mind. It kind of prompted me that if there's anybody that should talk about this topic, it is definitely me. Me. So what is this topic? We are talking about C-section. C-section has become an issue of stigmatization. Many women in Nigeria and in, I don't know of other parts of the world, but I know so much Nigeria are losing their babies to this stigmatization around C-section. Yeah. Okay, now, why did I say I am the best person to talk about this? Because, yes, God, aside this post, I'm still going to read this post to us. So, my brother's wife was pregnant with her first child, and when she was about to deliver, the doctor said it was going to be a C-section. I can remember clearly then I wasn't really, well informed about all of these things. So yeah, my mom called us in the middle of the night and said, "Oh, start praying. Everybody start praying. Oh, she's having a baby and they said it's going to be, we don't want C-section. Start praying." I know we woke up, we were praying, we were praying, and I was going to go to work. Like, then I was in Lagos. I wake up by 4:30 a.m. to go to work, and this was happening around 2 a.m. Gosh, like we were praying, we were praying. Okay, fine, we finished praying, casting all the old demons of C-section, and we went to bed. And in the morning, before I got to work, they called me and said, "God bless her soul, but the baby died." That is very traumatizing. That is the worst. Now that I'm more informed, I feel like that is the worst decision we have ever made as a family. And my father had to bury this girl with his own hands. Can you imagine that? Can you just imagine what that young girl was going through? Because while she was waiting for our prayers, she got weak, and the baby got weak, and the baby passed away, which is what is bound to happen. Yeah, so because of this theory that, oh, you can't have a C-section, I know a part of the world where C-section is believed to be, if you have your children through C-section, you're a witch. You are a witch. If you have a baby through C-section, you are a witch. It is that bad. And to make you guys understand it better, my own father, he was having his cool afternoon one day, and then he made this comment. He said, "Oh, okay, I have two sister-in-laws who have had children to C-section, and one who has never used C-section." So he said, "Oh, these other two, I don't know where they came from. This one, that is the one who doesn't use C-section, she is just the wife of the house. She's like your mother. Your mother had 9 without C-section. She is just like your mother. She is the so-called, what is it called? She is the a gamer. Like, she's the real person, the real MVP. That's the word." And I was like, what? What kind of comment is this? Then I was much more exposed, and because the day we lost that baby, when I got to work, I told my colleague about it. I really love BJ. She called me and sat me down. She was bitter. She was very, very angry, and she educated me. And I just got married then. So I really needed that education at that time. She educated me. She said C-section and vaginal birth are the same thing. They are both normal. And people, women in our world today, we have to stop using the word abnormal. C-section is not an abnormal birth, break in transmission. So I'm making orange juice, and like I said, I am going to be making this juice while I talk. Yeah, so C-section is not an abnormal birth. And guess what? Because God wanted my father to kind of have a dose of his medication, I happen to have my baby through C-section too. So I felt like God was actually telling him, if other people's daughters are not the real MVPs, maybe yours is not too. Yeah, so what happened with my case? So I was induced with, oxytocin, and, I was in pains. I had to take my epidural, and before I knew it, the doctor came back and told me that my baby's heartbeat was too high, was getting high. So baby didn't receive the epidural well. And he said, and I really love that statement. He said, "Madam, I am giving you 30 minutes. I have watched you for an hour, and I'm giving you 30 more minutes. If your baby's heartbeat does not improve, you are going for C-section." I just told him immediately, I'm like, why do we have to wait for 30 minutes? My husband was already like, yeah, why do we have to wait for 30 minutes? Let's do it now. And it was like, no, I'm just going to give you 30 minutes. And why? Because when I was pregnant, fine. From the day I got pregnant, I've been praying, oh, I'm safe delivery. And for me, safe delivery is not only vagina. It's all the parts. And so I'm alive, my baby is alive. God has made the day for us. So I called my husband towards the end of my pregnancy, and I said to him, "Sweetheart, please, if I get to my delivery bed and they say this baby is going to be C-section, do not think twice. I am telling you this thing because perhaps that day I'm unconscious and you want to come and start calling on the women of Hebrew. I will, when I come out, I will almost arrest you with police if anything happens to that child." Yeah, so I told him, if we get to the hospital, please, in the name of God. And the doctor says, baby is going to be through C-section. Please don't think about it. If I cannot sign on that day, sign it, and let's bring this baby to life. Because what is more important is baby is alive and I am alive. I have carried this baby for 9 months, for crying out loud. Why would I want this child to die? Because I am standing on the women of Hebrew. The women of Hebrew. And like someone opened my eyes to understand that women of Hebrew thing is a lie. Because the nurses actually lied to the king to say women of Hebrew are so good with themselves. Before we get there, they have delivered. They lied. It's not like it was even happening. They lied. Yeah. And do you guys know that I discovered this when I was pregnant and I was attending my birth classes? In this part of the world, this so-called, oh, I went to toilet and baby just came out, it's actually considered a traumatic birth. People don't like it in this part of the world. I was really surprised when I heard it. People don't like it, and there's actually counseling. Like if you have a baby through that method, and they go for counseling, they find it very traumatic. I was like, oh my God, where I come from, this is what we are praying for. I'm in the toilet and I do like this and baby just come out. I'm sweeping and baby just come out. I'm doing this and baby. This whole thing is a function of your body system. It doesn't happen for everybody. It does not explain the level of your faith, how strong you are in God, how prayer warrior you are. It is a function of your body system. So if your body system is not structured for it cannot happen. That is just the truth. So we need to really pray in line. We need to know how to channel our prayers. Now, if you've had a baby before and you're like through C-section and you're having the second one, and the doctors are definitely going to evaluate you and tell you if you can do VBAC, that is the vaginal birth after C-section, or you have to go through C-section again. They tell you your chances. And I've heard someone say, oh, the doctors told her it's going to be C-section again. Why did she agree? Really? Really? The real MVP is making up her mind to save her child, and you're asking her why did she agree? Let us stop traumatizing people. Now, I don't have a lot of time to read this story one after the other. I'm just going to tell us the story. So this guy said he's a doctor and he was in the hospital on a shift, and a woman was brought in for delivery. This woman was in pain. She was, all her body parts were swollen and everything. And she asked the woman, "How long have you been in labor, madam?" The woman said, "Since yesterday." And they took her to some traditional home, forcing her to give birth through the vagina, and it wasn't working. The woman was already, in fact, a living dead. And he said immediately he examined the baby, he went for the heartbeat, and heartbeat was gone. Baby has died a long time ago. He was like, and he opened, when he looked at the woman's body, he saw 2 C-section marks. He was like, "You've had your 2 babies through C-section before." The woman agreed. She concurred. It was like, "So why are you trying VBAC this time?" I said, "Oh, me and my husband said we want to try, women of Hebrew and everything." I mean, the man was like, "In fact, finally, Seth, we still have to do C-section to bring out the dead baby." Can you imagine that kind of a situation, guys? This is not what you want to go through. A lot of people are out there that don't have children, and we are allowing our children to die on birth because we are running away from C-section, because we are believing in women of Hebrew. I love vaginal birth, but my dear, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Or if something happened, or if so far you trust your doctor, he's a good doctor, he's not a quack, and he has examined you and said, "Oh, this thing is going to be an emergency section." That's why it's called emergency. Go and do it sharp and come out. My husband, even like after my experience, my husband said, "Come, are you sure we will not be using C-section all the time in this house?" Because it was like the doctors just told him, "Okay, put on, whatever gadgets they wear into the theater." He said before he even wore the thing, he saw baby. That's why he didn't even make enough video clips for me. He saw baby and he was like, "Really?" It was less than 5 minutes. And guys, I recovered in 1 month. Some vaginal birth women, in 3 months, they've not even recovered. They say, "Oh, the stomach cannot go down. The stomach will not go down." Who said so? Do you want me to show you my sister-in-law? She's slimmer than all the ones that have been doing vaginal births. She lost her weight and she's good to go. Yeah, so, is it because of that stomach you are going to allow the child to die? Guys, a lot of children are dying to this thing. And you don't want your child to die simply because you're doing women of Hebrew. Women of Hebrew theory is a lie that the nurses lied. That brings me to the end of this wonderful topic. I hope I've been able to help somebody. All you need to do is to pray to God when you're pregnant and let God grant you a safe delivery. Bring a good doctor that knows what he's doing, and your baby comes out through vagina, through C-section. Your baby is alive, you're healthy, you do your ecomo, make yourself 1 glass of natural orange juice like I just did, and give yourself kudos. And let me tell you the secret, women. If you even do C-section, that's bigger your push gift. You can ask for Lamborghini, you can ask for Range Rover. If you do C-section, ask for a bigger push gift, because you too, you pushed. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy yourself. See you next time.